All right, easy here for my latest partner, ExpressVPN. You're like, what the hell is that? I'll get to that. Calm down. First of all, going online without ExpressVPN is like forgetting to mute yourself on a Zoom meeting. Do you really want all of your coworkers to hear you trash talking them? Okay, so that's kind of like helping me illustrate to you what's up. Why everybody needs a VPN. Okay, so everything you do online, the shows you watch, the websites you go to, anything you do online, that gets sent to your internet service provider, including your mobile network providers. They know every single website you visit. All right? Reroute 100% of your traffic to ExpressVPN through their secure encrypted servers so your ISP cannot see your browsing history. Privacy is really big to a lot of folks, so that's why this is very, very important. ExpressVPN is the best. They hide your IP address, making it extremely difficult for third parties to track your online activity. That's important for your old pal EZ because with my setup, I can't have any compromises. My internet is so important for doing what I do that if anything affects what I do, that's trouble. That's why I use ExpressVPN. Very easy to use. You just fire up the app and click one button to get protected. Works on all of your devices too, phones, laptops, tablets, more, so you can stay private on the go. I swear by this, and my life is so much easier now that the Eric Zane Show podcast is utilizing ExpressVPN. So what you need to do is protect your online privacy today by visiting expressvpn.com/Zane. That's expressvpn.com/Zane. And you can get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/Zane. Hello, what's up, friends? Oh my gosh. Getting past the Lions' victory is easier. Lions' loss, wishful thinking, is watching a video. Oops. Boy, I'm off to a rough start. Of the San Francisco 49ers showing up at a animal adoption place, whatever, like Harbor Humane. And I'm seeing like all these guys who were instrumental in beating our ass yesterday with like puppy dogs. So here you go. This is just what the doctor ordered. I think that's Deebo Samuel. Whenever you see these guys doing normal things, you really get it. I mean, this is great. Look at this. That guy's hand feeding the dog. I think that's George Kittle. I'm not 100% sure. The tight end. Look at, he's got a little puppy dog. And then this guy, he's got his dog. This guy's got his dog. Why does this guy look like he just got done with a workout? I think he might have been like playing flag football or something, maybe. This might even be an old video. I don't know. Look at the little guy, little puppy dog. Oh my God. Yeah, this actually makes me feel better. Look at this guy. He's about to cry. How about this guy? I don't know. This guy must be the kicker. I don't know. I can't. The dog's all. This guy's got his shirt off. They said, look, you're jacked. Can you do this with your shirt off? If this doesn't get all these dogs adopted, I don't know what will. Look at guy with his shirt off, and boy, is he tatted up. He's making all the chicks horny. This fat ass, he loves this puppy dog. This guy's taking it home. Oh, my God.
I'm going to be here for a while.
Yeah. Is there anything better than a puppy? Are you kidding me? The comment, Chris writes, was Ashley there washing the dog? Megan's quote, you need to skin this puppy, sir. Megan writes, hello, friends. Missed y'all this morning while I was at the dentist. I think Chris was doing that too. You know what's interesting is I'm going to the dentist today too. After I get done with this show, I have to go visit Dr. Bitesplint. I have a little bit of a cavity. Needs to be fixed. All right. I talked on the free show about how I don't want to be Lions fan to say, yeah, we'll get them next year. We're going to be better. We're going to be so much better next year. And I didn't want to be the wet blanket. But, you know, that I don't necessarily believe that. So, I mean, that doesn't, I mean, if they win, great, but I'm not, you know, you can't, nothing is guaranteed in that league, you know. Players leave, players show up, weird things happen, coaches change, coaches leave, coaches arrive, players want more money, players aren't as hungry, they're a year older. There's so many different variables that goes into it. It's ridiculous to suggest that they would, you know, have a clear path to new heights and get to the Super Bowl next year. I even suggested this might be it. Now, in a way, I didn't want to believe that. But Dan Campbell, his words. Quote, look, I told those guys, this may have been our only shot. Yeah, Campbell's not really one to mince words. And I like that what I was thinking, he was thinking. Do I think that? Dan Campbell said, no. However, I know how hard it is to get here. I'm well aware it's going to be twice as hard to get to this point next year than it was this year, Campbell added. Now, I don't know why that would be, but he seems to think so. He said in the press conference, you want to make the most out of every opportunity. We had an opportunity. We just couldn't close it out. And it stings. It stings. He said, then the article goes on to say Campbell's faith in his team is still pretty apparent, but his take on the reality of competing in the NFL is sobering. If we don't have the same hunger and the same work, which is a whole other thing once we get to the offseason, then we have no shot of getting back here. I don't care how much better we get or we add or it's irrelevant. Yeah, that's why I love Dan Campbell. You know, he's not going to mince words and say, yeah, we're going to be more powerful than ever. You wait and see. Rah! He's saying, yeah, this might have been it. That would mean EZ would be 85. If we wait another 32 years, 85 years old. Some of you are like, surely before you die, the Lions will win a Super Bowl. But I am no way. I am not in that I don't have that positive of an outlook. In fact, if next year happens, they storm through the regular season, they home field, storm through the playoffs, and get to the actual Super Bowl. And if they are up by 28 points with 4 minutes to go in the game, I'm still going to be hedging my bets as to whether or not they're going to win that fucking thing. Okay? I am, this is not going to leave anytime soon. I will never, ever take anything for granted with them. And I think, honestly, that's how I was able to process this team that I've been rooting for since I was 10. How I'm able to process this fucking abortion that happened last night. It's the only way to get through it. Joe Martinez. I don't think Joe Martinez is here. I don't think he's a member on Patreon, but I was a little bit concerned about Joe in the chat today to piss people off. Because, I mean, I'm not going to piss anybody off about the game. But I was worried about Joe rubbing everybody's nose in shit today. So I had an actual plan. I tried not to engage him in any way because as soon as he realizes that I'm on to him, oh, God. So everybody behaved. Aaron says, I'd rather you had brought another golf club versus garage story for today. Yeah, when I was younger, yes, that's true. It was some fucking game that they fucked up. Golf club, destroying all my shit in my garage. My neighbor Ken thinks I'm a psychopath. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, spruce it up. It's fine. Never talk to that guy again. Patrick says, I think there's a high probability that they get back and get better, but who knows? Maybe they don't. Oh, God. Chris writes, Joe started out okay until you started poking him. Well, yeah, I didn't do that till late, though. You know, that's how you do it. You know, I was reading his ad, his A&E heating and cooling ad, and saying that he's a Lions fan. Yeah, then it's okay because the show's over. Chris refers to the Chiefs as the Queefs and says if the Queefs win, Taylor Swift will be engaged during the celebration, calling it now. That might be. I wonder if, you know how like there's those prop bets you can make for the Super Bowl? Like how long will the national anthem be? And you can bet on that. I wonder if that will be a prop bet. Will Travis Kelce ask Taylor Swift to marry him? You know, like on the field, like on TV. Hollywood star Alyssa Milano is in the news. She was trying to help, kind of. And everybody's dragging her. Let's see. Alyssa Milano, net worth $10 million. Why is it that nowadays that doesn't seem like a lot of money? I mean, it is to like you and I, but you would think that she would be worth a lot more, right? She's also married to David Bulliari. He's estimated to be worth about $5 million. He is a partner at Creative Artist Agency. So between those two, they are just getting by on $15 million. Alyssa Milano's son wants to go on a baseball trip. I don't know if that means like travel to another state for a tournament, I'm guessing. Little League thing. She launched a GoFundMe to pay for the kids' baseball team. My son's baseball team is raising money for their Cooperstown, New York trip, Baseball Hall of Fame. Any amount would be so greatly appreciated. The fundraiser has a goal of $10,000 and has already raised more than $7,600 at the time of publishing. Right away, I thought, All right, if there's a baseball team in sunny California, and Alyssa Milano's kid is on the team, I'm guessing that every parent on that team is doing okay. I mean, I don't know. I just have a feeling that there isn't any of those fucking poverty kids that smell like piss and live in a ramshackle dirt floor home that are on the baseball team, let alone Milano's kid. Now, I always try to, whenever I see stories like this, I try to well, okay, everybody's getting pissed at her, but is that justified? Like Dan Campbell. Everybody's getting pissed at Dan Campbell. Is that justified? And after looking at the facts and looking at all of everything going on, I was like, no, it's not justified at all. This one, the people are justified. They're absolutely justified. Alyssa Milano cannot be asking friends and family and the public for $10,000. Okay? People ask, why isn't Alyssa Milano paying for the trip for the whole team herself? Yeah, I think that every parent should just pay for their kid. Why don't you just do that instead of look like an asshole and ask for $10,000 to pay for the trip? You're a goddamn celebrity. You're worth $15 million between you and the old man. I think you can scrape up the $600 to send little Joey to Cooperstown. At the end of the day, this all shouldn't even be a thing because baseball sucks. Given that she's a famous actress, netizens felt the Castle star, 51, shouldn't be asking people for money to fund the Birds 12 and under team. Why is she asking for money from people who can barely buy groceries? Oh, no. Fuck. Yeah, this isn't great. You don't want to do this. Another person asked, Alyssa Milano has absolutely lost her mind. How out of touch and tone deaf can one person possibly be? Just a reminder, Alyssa and her husband are both multimillionaires. They could pay for the entire trip for the whole team without batting an eye. Yeah, there they are. One critic even went so far as to donate $5 to write, doesn't Alyssa have enough money? A representative from Milano didn't immediately return page 6 request for comment. Oddly enough, it doesn't appear that she has even donated, unless she gave the money to the GoFundMe under an anonymous label. While she had plenty of critics, Milano also had some supporters. Who were happy to donate. Quote, I made a small but heartfelt contribution, commented one follower. Sounds like a great experience for them. This is awesome. You've done so much for so many, added another one. Oh, come on now. This is so dumb. No, don't pay for the fucking bread. Pay for it yourself, you rich asshole. What the fuck? The nerve. Ashley says that she had already called the prediction on the Taylor Swift engagement. I'm guessing a lot of people are. Chris says the billionaire would need a prenup to marry the millionaire. Maureen says, I'm going to guess Taylor Swift would not want a public proposal. Probably not. I don't think she would either. Chris says, yeah, let the poors donate to your rich asses. Megan says, we all drove. Many teams flew in from all over the country. Chris says, I used to have such a crush on her when I was a kid. We sold Super Bowl squares and shit. It's just not that expensive. Megan says, I can give a legit breakdown of this. Chris says, I'll donate a middle finger. Chris says starts a GoFundMe, but is probably driving a Mercedes to Whole Foods. I have an update on the Eric Zane Show podcast household. We may be adding a family member here, which is going to result in a whole new layer of entertainment and joy to us all. So, Diana's cousin, Mimi, I've mentioned her before. She's very dear to us, very sweet. There was a point in time when she lived with the Doobie Brothers, the NFK, and my dearly departed brother-in-law, David. And she used to complain about how fucked up the NFK was along with the now departed David. And because she's like a clean freak, and she would complain about various things that I witness on a daily basis now with the NFK. And I was always like, oh, wow, boy, that's fucked up. Can't believe it. And now, full circle, it's part of my life now. Well, so Mimi is very, very lonely. She's a little bit older. She's in her 60s. And Megan writes, I'm so excited. Does Mimi have dogs, cats, a ferret? No, she just lost her dog, Dodger. Dodger went to the Rainbow Bridge. And that's part of the problem. Mimi is very, very lonely. Her kids she's divorced. And her kids are all grown and moved out. And so she's by herself. And so she's got the blues now. It's bad. And Diana and her are very close. So, for me in this house, I don't need much. Honestly, if it were my way, I'd be living in about an 800 square foot house. Obviously, there's two in this relationship. And the Queen of the Forest is like, no, this is where we're going to live. So that was, a decade and a half ago. Okay, great. Well, now there's no one in this fucking house. I hang out in this room and the kitchen and where I sleep. That's it. I'm using up my 700 square feet. We have two wide open bedrooms. The NFK is in his bedroom downstairs. And we get to talking about Mimi, Diana, and I go, why don't you have her move in here? You should just have her move in. Oh, no, she would hate that. No. I go, what? Why? Why would she hate that? She wants to be close to her kids. I go, well, who gives a shit? They're just, so it goes from 20 miles away to 90 miles away. It's not a big deal. And she'd be here. Someone always here. She would not be. There's dogs everywhere. She loves dogs. This is a no-brainer. What are you doing? I mean, seriously, tell her. She goes, oh, she won't be interested. Won't be interested. Okay. Well, Diana goes there, and she visits her this weekend, her cousin. And I get a phone call. And I guess Mimi, was crying about how lonely she is. And so Diana said, Eric said, and you should, and so I think she's going to do it. I think this is going to happen. And so right away, I'm making a list of things that I need to go over with her to not bust the NFK about, because she likes to bust. Hey, why did you do this? Why is there feces, on the coffee maker? What the fuck is this? Why is there a exploded tomato in the microwave? I'm being extreme, but you get what I mean. She will always bust him about that shit. Well, I have taken care of all of that, and I need to tell her it doesn't help. So don't bust his balls, okay? And just clean it yourself. And then there's all these other little nuance things that he does that you just have to understand that it's just how, I mean, you should know this because you live with him, but don't, just to keep the stability, the emotional stability in this household, don't fuck him up, Don't. He's got a routine. Diana thinks he's got the tism. Aaron says, my prediction is 1 week before Eric smashes her car with his truck. I thought the same thing when I was backing out the other day. I was like, God damn it, if there's another car in here, I got to be careful because I'll smash right the fuck into it. By the way, I saw you at the hockey game the other day. Megan with a great question. Do you think she'll clean up the NFK's fingerprints? Stevie says, sure, move in. Eric can sleep in the closet. Chris says, oh, this could be a huge Pooh Bear points upgrade. Yes. Now, she is a clean freak, so she will clean the hell out of this house, and this house needs to be clean. I mean, I can't do it. If there's anything that's fallen off, it's the cleanliness of this house because I'm so busy doing this shit. She's retired. You know, I'm like, fuck it, just stay here. Who gives a shit? So I think that's going to happen. Now then, in a perfect world, if then my dad or Joanne needs a place to live, then they could move in too. Now we're really talking a reality show. Seriously, what a hodgepodge of humanity that would be. So Diana's cousin is a little lezzy. And what I mean by that is there was a part early on when I just started getting to know Diana and the family when she was full lezzy. And she brought like a girlfriend over to the house. And I think she was just a quote unquote friend at the time. Like they weren't out. It was weird. But her dad was at the party. And that is Diana's dad's brother. His name's Bill. But his nickname is Dink. So to Diana, that's Uncle Dink. Or Dink. Or Dinker-Doo. But I was fucked up. And I referred to him. He's standing next to Mimi. And I said, why do they call you Uncle Dyke? And I guess it was a sensitive topic to even say that word around the house. I mean, these are hillbillies. And Mimi's standing there with her Leslie lover. And Dink's there. And I just referred to him as Uncle Dyke. And everyone's like, oh, God, that's just the bad thing. That's a bad thing to call him. And I thought I was fucked up at the time, and I had forgotten. And then they go, no, it's Dink. I go, oh, shit, fuck, sorry, Dink. Anyway, tell me about yourself. It's so awkward. She goes ahead, and then all of a sudden she's not a lesbian, and she gets married to this guy, John. And he's a friend of the dearly departed Dave, one half of the Doobie Brothers. And they get married, and then it falls apart. They get divorced. And then that's the rest is history. I did a wedding last summer for a family member. It was Mimi's daughter. Well, anyway, I love Mimi. She's fantastic. Not 100% sure that she's going to be moving in, but that idea has been talked about, and it seemed to be received quite well. So the family dynamic, we just keep adding people here. You know, you hear about like people who are advancing through life, like the Queen of the Forest and I are. And then like the kids leave, and then it's just us. And then you just kind of like drift away, and you go to, you know, on these little day trips, and you start dressing like an asshole, and you've become your parents, those fucking progressive commercials, which are the absolute best. I love those commercials. The guy last night who was showing LL Cool J family pictures. Oh. We keep on taking on. We're like welcoming these family members in. And honestly, this is the best way to stay out of a rut. You think about it. The changes that have taken place in this family, they're all really good changes. You know, a lot of times when there's changes in your life, it might be like, divorce is a big one. You look at fuckface free beer. That retard gets divorced, and he just loses his fucking mind. 3 days after the divorce is final, he's married again. He wears his hair like fucking Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation. Looks like a goddamn homeless person. And his world's upside down. He's going to get divorced again before you know it. You watch. Aaron says, will the NFK and her be fighting all the time? Very possible. This is very, very possible. That's why I have to brief her. And I have to say, look, darling, Mimi, he's been here for 3 years. He's Brooks now. He's institutionalized. He's got a routine. Do not upset the apple cart. I'll keep you two separated if we need to. But I'm the warden here in this. And if I don't have a problem with finger smudges, or I've gotten past it, or I just know he won't correct this issue, no matter what I tell him. The fact that I went and showed him what's happening with the fingerprints on the fridge. To illustrate it, I sprayed Pam on my hand. I go, pretend these are your hands after you prepare your food. Now, is it easier to open the fridge and then wipe off the fridge? Or is it easier to wipe off the hands and then open the fridge? And I can see the words are bouncing off of him. It does not compute. I have been that literal with him about it. So we'll just let it go. At this point, it is easier to clean it than actually to talk about it. Because I don't want to alienate them. I don't want them to, these are old people. Even older than me by like 10, 12 years. So fuck it, Linda says he's going to hate this change. Why do you say that? I'm curious. And Aaron says, I agree. How? I already told you that I'm going to explain it to her to let him be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. It'll be fine. I will this into reality. But if things do blow up, we are going to have story after story after story. Okay? He's probably going to shit in his hand and throw it at her. Oh. It's going to be absolutely outstanding. Win-win. Back to the baseball trip. Costs $1,300 base fee for each player for the baseball trip. Oh, yeah. Those parents should be paying that shit. Maureen said, people with the tism don't like change in general. All right. Good point. Aaron says, dude has it made. Can just sit around, chew tobacco while watching TV all day without being hassled. Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to make it my mission to say to Mimi, don't bitch at him for this. Don't bitch at him for that. That's my problem. All you need to do is enjoy life. Go sit by the pool. Go downstairs. Go in the hot tub. Whatever. But do not rock that boat. It's fine the way it is. Linda Hall says, because it's different no matter how much she leaves him alone. I think he'll get used to it, though, over time. He'll realize he's got no recourse because he's also intimidated by me. And I like it that way. Not that I crave the power, but it's good to have a fucking hierarchy. You don't want a bunch of fucking chiefs what is it? Too many chiefs, not enough. No, you don't want a bunch of little Indians and like serving as the chief. Wait a minute. I'm saying that wrong. Too many Indians, not enough chiefs. One chief, a bunch of Indians. Anyway, I'm the damn chief. Somewhat. I think Diana is just a little bit higher in the chiefdom, but she doesn't like enforce any policy. I do. You know? I have to handle the NFK. Megan writes, but what if they hook up? They could be so happy. No, you stupid piece of shit. They're first cousins. What the fuck is wrong with you? I just spent significant time giving you all the background to keep up on this. Patrick says too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. By the way, sorry, Megan, you're not a piece of shit. That's just me being me. You cannot call the show mom a piece of shit. There are other people who are deserving of that. Okay? But typically, Megan's not a piece of shit. In fact, I would say she's the opposite. She's a piece of honey. Megan says, oh my God, what if they went in the hot tub together? Well, now you're being a piece of shit. I just told you they're cousins, you stupid asshole. The fuck is wrong with you? There was one incident, though, where, no, I can't even say that. I'm going to blue ball you. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Maybe one day down the road. Okay. No, there wasn't any cousin kissing. Come on. You assholes. As always, hey, I thank you guys for being here. I appreciate the support. Look at this group. You're all the best. Talk to you down the road. Till next time, have a good one. Bye-bye. Hello. I love you. Won't you tell me your name? Welcome. I've got two dogs fighting here. Well, they're not fighting. They're like playing, which is going to result in a fight, which is going to result in me yelling. Knock it off. I felt like I was paralyzed. I'm laying in bed. I took a nappy poo. And I was just like, oh, my God. I'm just, for me, there's like the first 25 to 30 minutes of the nap. And I wake up, after that. I'm like, now what I should do is just get up then. That's like officially in like the power nap window. If you ignore that and then just go back to bed, like just sleep some more. Now you just went back to bed. Well, that's the route I went. And then, it goes like full REM sleep. I had another radio station dream. Yeah, I think I need mental help. I think the recurring dreams, the radio station dreams are just, they haunt me. My God. Heard from Ben from the time I got done with the free podcast to now. And he threw at me a tantalizing offer. Easy, I have a big ask. One of the weeks coming up on a Monday, will you get up at 4 a.m. and drive to the radio station and fill in for me on X's and Bros? Now, the extent of which would be like, well, I don't know. I've never done the job. But this is the station where, I don't know if I have the right stuff to pull off the weather report or the traffic report. And there is an opportunity there for hilarity because the audio would exist, and I'd play it on here of Anthony saying, "Gentlemen, how are you?" And then I would go, not bad, Anthony. It was it's 33 degrees, and there was some moisture on the pavement. Led to some slick spots. Not bad. I'm good. That day, it was some day in March that he asked about. I also have to do the huge show. So that would mean I'd have to get up at 4 a.m, play my best Ben Glaze, get out of there at whatever time, 9, 10 a.m. This is on a Monday. Do this podcast, do 2 podcasts, and then do 3 hours of the huge show after that. And, maybe if I was 20 years younger, I would consider such a thing. But I kind of need to look out for me because I think it would kill me. Ashley writes, how's it going, Zane? Funny you ask. It's not good. Make it awkward, Ashley suggests. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. There is no doubt a great opportunity right there. Now, I responded with, well, I'm kind of like trying to point him in the direction of someone else that could do the gig. I said, well, do you have another person who might be able to do it that you still have to ask? Any of the loser part-timers from iHeart. Dave Taff over there will be able to point you in the right direction if you don't know anyone. Okay, sounds good. I can ask. Let me know how it goes. So I think maybe Ben, I'm hoping that like I was the first person he asked just to kind of get it done and out of the way, get it covered, because he knows like I can do the job. So he just would go ahead and ask me. Chris says, I can't wait to hear the compressed audio on the huge show. You sound so different when you're on there. Oh, my God, you're not kidding. It takes the sound, rips it apart, and then reassembles it like AI. I'm not even kidding you. Now, I have a processor here and a microphone preamp, but it's not as digital and weirdo as theirs are. And theirs, if you're this far away from the microphone, it so grabs all your sound, it doesn't sound. You have to be like this far away from the mic in order to make it sound okay. And that's not my game. I like being right here. This is my sweet spot. And I can maybe drop it over to here, not too much drop out, but fuck, I can't do that. When I was on the air with the huge show, I would be up to the microphone the way I am now, which is appropriate. And then people are texting me, you're eating the microphone, get off the mic. I'm like, fuck you. I've been doing this for 50 fucking years. I know how to work a microphone, dumbass. That's right. I'm to the point when I'm telling people how long I've done this. Linda says you could be his wedding week fill-in too. By the way, show of hands. Anybody here a little bit alarmed with when I bring up on the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast things like, so Ben, how's it going with the wedding planning? And he'll go, well, I don't know. Are you, is there, what's left to get done on the wedding planning? I have no idea. I'm like, what the fuck? Got a golden opportunity here to have her eating out of your hand if you really delve into it. Megan says not alarmed, even a little bit. No? Maybe not alarmed. I should say, how many of you are not surprised? I don't think I did anything either, now that you mention it. And Linda says grooms don't do anything. You know? Megan says, my husband didn't care about any of it, and that meant I could do whatever I wanted. It was perfect. Oh, all right. So that's a good thing. Well, typically the guy, I agree with that. But, you know, I don't know if Ben's like lending, you know, typically you can help out with the planning. Like, what do you need me to do, honey? What would you like me? Who would you like me to call? What would you like me to set up for you? You're the boss. I'm your right hand. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Ashley says, how does it shock you that men have zero idea? It's like, show up here. Well, you have to understand, though. None of you know of a man who's more feminine than me. Okay? I have an unbelievably strong female influence on me. And, I mean, I actually prefer female thought processes than males. However, there are things of the... What are you doing, Darla? There are things that men do that I also behave like. Brevity. I don't need too many details when I talk to you. I have a sensibility that is very female. Most of the people that I like to talk to are females. Guys are like, you're fucking stupid. Why are you so stupid? Look at all these ladies here. I would spill my guts to every one of the women in here. And that doesn't include Brandis, Rebecca, Stevie. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Several more. The women, Rebecca Fabiano, I love her to death. Like, these women are just fantastic. If I had my choice to hang out with chicks or dudes, it's chicks all day. So much more interesting. How about that pile of dogs behind me? Now that's O'Neill is starting to shy away from that. He usually doesn't like what's happening right there. I'm going to take a picture if you don't mind. It's absolutely great. Vet appointment tomorrow for two of them. That would be Bruce and Darla. Routine. Bruce has got a little ear infection. Darla has to get a heartworm test. She's almost 1 year old. February 18, she will be 1 year old. I cannot believe that. I love my dogs so much. Again, I think I stole it from Megan. Love all the dogs and some of the people. What a fantastic line. My neighbor called me up, a sweet lady named Julia, who is now giving me hard eyes. Happens all the damn time. Her dog is Gibson, neighborhood dog. He's great. I love that dog so much. And she put in our little neighborhood group that she has to go to the UK because her mom died. She's from England. And she's like, somebody needs to watch Gibson. And I'm like, I will. I'll do it. Well, I need somebody who's home all the time. I'm home all the time. I've been home for 5 years. I haven't worn pants in 5 years. Went over there. And I responded with the Eric Zane Show podcast, Facebook. And I usually don't do that, but that was a mistake. So that was all it took. She goes, so what do you... She has a British accent. I can't do one. And but I'll probably try. She asked me what I do. And I go, that is the hardest thing to explain to people because, you know, it's just something you don't hear about somebody for a living doing a podcast. I go, well, I just talk every day. I used to be in radio. I do a podcast now. They're like, what? Huh? Yeah. Well, what is it about? What do you do? Well, a little bit of everything. I've got a small but very dedicated pack of people who I always share these personal stories and things like that. I'm probably going to talk about this. And the curiosity level is through the roof. So much, though, that I think she fell in love with me right then and there. Comes and goes. I go, all right, I'll be ready. I'll be ready to let the pooches out. All good. Yesterday, I went out to a client that I had on the show for a while, and then I didn't have on the show. So Sarah Honda Granville they were the ones who were the brunt of Kristen Megan Kelly. And after she called, they said, okay, let's let it cool down. We'll come back to you in a couple of weeks. I said, okay. They get back on. And then after a little bit of time, they said, hey, we just got a new boss, a new GM here. And he wants to zero everything out on any marketing, and we're going to start over. You're going to have to come in and sell yourself to this guy, easy. I go, okay, no problem. I've done that before. So it's me and this dude and the new guy. the new guy has some of my background. He's lived here long enough that he knows me from like hockey or whatever. So I'm explaining how it works, giving him the nickel tour of what's happened and how I market whomever, And so he seems interested, but he says, well, I'll let you know. I go, hey, no problem. And so that's that. Some time passes. And I reach out to the number 2 guy. And I go, hey, I haven't heard from him. Have you heard anything? He goes, no. And typically I would go to number 2, but now number 1 wants everything to go through him. I go, what do you recommend? He goes, pop in and say hi to number 1. And just, I go, just pop in unannounced, say hello. He goes, yep. I go, are you sure? He goes, yeah. All right. Yesterday was that day. And I'm walking across the floor of the showroom. And I see number 2. And I look at him, I nod. He's like, yep, go get him. Go get him, EZ. I go up to the GM's door. And Mr. Number 1. And on his desk is a stack of papers with the biggest fucking paperclip holding them together. And he's got a yellow highlighter in his hand. And he's furiously doing yellow lines on there. And as I'm saying, hello, Mr. Number 1, I realize this man is incredibly fucking busy. And I am right now interrupting him. And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh, no. I fucked. I'm so interrupting this fucking guy. And I look at number 2 out of the corner of my eye, and he's like looking the other way. I go, hey, just happened to be in the area. Remember me, Eric Zane Show? He goes, yeah. Like before I could finish saying my spiel. Yeah, yeah, how can I help you? I'm like, just checking in, still hoping to get you on the pod. Yeah, okay, thanks. It was just like that. It was so bad. I'm like, okay, good to see you. Bye-bye. I trudge out of there. I immediately started hearing the felt from the highlighter dragging across the paper. Oh, so bad. All right, okay, play it cool. I wander over the 20 feet, 15 feet to where number 1 is. Hey, how you been? And just, like I meant to be there. Like I'm supposed to be there. Chit-chatting about anything. The Lions, the weather, just anything to let the dust settle on this catastrophe that has happened. And I'm hoping that the words just seem playful and nice, and he's hearing it through his open door, Mr. Number 1. And I'm like, ugh. Well, hey, okay, number 2, appreciate you. I'll talk to you down the road. All right, buddy, thanks. Okay, see ya. I walk out. I get my fucking car. I immediately text number 2. Okay, that was all theater. My conversation with number 2. This message I sent at 3:54. The interaction with Mr. Number 1 happened at 3:51. Oh, man. I think I interrupted him doing something important that was super awkward. He says he's still interested, but he didn't reveal much, if anything, to me. I might have to play the long game with this one. See, because the last time I was working with these folks, I was working with number 2. Number 1 did not exist. They brought in number 1, and he immediately, he's the boss. I can't. He writes, I'll gather some intel and report back. I said, no sweat. I wanted to make it seem like I was just popping in because I was in the neighborhood, which is true, but fuck. I wanted to strangle number 2. I was like, you fucker, you told me to do that. Chris says it's like that scene of The Simpsons when Grandpa walks into the bar and, excuse me, I just boogered out of my nose, and walks right back out. LOL. Megan says, number one should have walked over there to make sure it was no big thing. He didn't. He did you dirty. Stevie says, I'm late. Sounds like I missed something good. Oh, it was a horribly awkward moment when I was calling on a client trying to get some fucker to spend money with me. I felt horrible. I've had some tough ones over the years. People who I just couldn't crack and then was able to break through. King's Room Barbershop was like that. I worked on King's Room Barbershop for over 4 years before I was able to get that one. Hold on. Darla! Why do you have to be so cute? Huh? Don't hate me. But I have a podcast to do right now at 2 p.m. So I want you to go to the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. And I start at 2 p.m. with Christian Blatt. It's a show called Who Are These Broadcasters? And I want you to watch it. It's the same thing as this. You comment. There's a lot of people there that are dickheads, and they talk shit about me. So feel free to jump on board with that. I beg you 1,000 pardons for these short shows today, but hopefully it was still enjoyable. But this show I have with Christian starts in 6 minutes. I will talk to you tomorrow if I don't catch you on Who Are These Broadcasters? Or Stevie. She got a 1-minute show. All right. Talk to you later, folks. Enjoy it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Welcome to the podcast. I want you to know that I fixed my hair. Doesn't look that much different than what it did when I hadn't fixed my hair. It's because it's remarkably consistent. But if you're going to be with the Patreon audience, special treatment. You find out things before everybody else. Sometimes you find out things that no one else even finds out about. You get special hair treatment. The dozen or so of you who enjoy this, I appreciate you so much. Which, by the way, hello to a couple of new folks who just signed up. Somebody that just goes by Drew. Hello to Drew. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Drew tried the free podcast. Was like, you know what? All right, take my money. Take my money, you fool. There was also a young lady, I'm assuming it was a lady, who just signed up. Same thing. Try Jane Williams. Signed up free, and then boom, here we are. I've got some NFK ridiculousness to discuss with you. Today, he takes a shower. Now, he's gotten in the habit of having us put his watch on for him. It's harder for him to put the watch on. So, I do that. Wasn't always like that, but it worked one time. He was happy with it. It didn't take him an hour, so we did it. Now when he gets out of the shower, he goes, hey, can you put my watch on for me? Yeah, of course. He's in the shower while I'm getting ready to get this show, the first show ready, the free show. And he comes up to the door and he knocks on the door. This door. So the dogs start fucking going nuts. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? So I'm thinking, holy shit. So I walk over there and I open it up and I'm like, hey? And he goes, can you put a watch on for me? And dogs are going crazy. I go, yeah. Get the dogs to stay in here, close the door. I go, you can just come in. You don't have to knock. He goes, well, I didn't know if you were podcasting or not. I'm like, well, I mean, yes, you do. I mean, if I'm talking, this isn't a sound. I mean, you can hear anything. But all right, whatever. And then I go, well, yeah. Well, next time, just wait. Your life isn't depending on the watch. So if you're not sure, or if you were to just go downstairs, but don't put the watch on, and I'll put it down when I get down there. What we're seeing there is the tism. He gets in a routine, and if it's time for the watch to go on, it's time for the watch to go on. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Oh, my God. Queen of the Forest witnessed him the other day walk into one bathroom, and I've talked about this before, get out of that bathroom and walk to the other bathroom. Doing what? I don't know. Tyler says, how will he know what time it is if it's not on his wrist? Hey, Eric. Yeah, buddy. What time is it? 5:30. Is it? Are you? Hey, Eric. What? Who are the Griffins playing today? The Manitoba Moose. Are they? Hey, Eric. Yeah. Are you and Ben podcasting tonight, kiddo? Yep. Are you? Hey, Eric. Yeah. You watching the Super Bowl? Yep. Are you? I don't know why that is. It's the follow-up that gets me every time. You like the smell of your own shit? Yes. Do you? Linda writes, I'm sitting at the vet. Oh, I'm sitting at the vet. Had a noon appointment. No explanation why they're so late. I would guess that there are other animals that are being looked at. And then once they are looked at, they'll come see you. What do you think they're doing? Just on lunch? Ignoring you? Come on now. All right, I'm going to pay for that one. Concerning the NFK, Stevie says, where does he have to be? I don't know. He doesn't have to be anywhere. And then there's this one. Free podcast comes and goes. I go downstairs. Hey, Eric. Yeah. I got a question for you. Uh-huh. Okay. And he mutes the TV. And I'm like, all right, this is going to be big. He goes, what's that beer in the, it's Heineken in the green bottle, right? Heineken's in the green bottle? I go, yeah, I think so. I think that sounds right. Isn't there another beer in a green bottle? Rolling, and I go, Rolling Rock? Yes! That's it. They've got a green bottle, too. Hits the goddamn TV. And it's like, mystery solved. I'm like, what the fuck just happened here? Oh. Tyler writes, Linda will complain to the vet when they come in, and they'll say, sorry, we were trying to save a puppy's life, and we lost her, unfortunately. This referring to Linda and her the ease at which she dove into hating on Guy who didn't get back to her in a timely fashion. All right. Maureen says, just think, if Mimi moves in, she can absorb some of Kevy's bullshit for you. Well, the thing is, in order to maintain continuity in the house, if Mimi and Kevin were living on their own, she probably would get into his ass about half the shit he does. But we just can't have that here. So I need to make it very clear when and if we get to that point that I said, look, get ready to wrap your mind around some things that you don't want to wrap your mind around and just humor him. His brain is fried. There's plenty of room in this house. Go to a spot where he's not in it. I know that's what I do. All right. I had to share. Oh, damn it. You ever get a itch actually in your eye? That's what I'm going through right now. What the hell just happened to me? So somebody might have found the wreckage of Amelia Earhart's plane in the Pacific Ocean. Think she was doing a transatlantic flight. Disappeared, never found. Former U.S. Air Force intelligence officer says he may have found the wreckage.
The seafloor.
What
So
an asshole.
that landing would have been as gently as possible. Probably would have kept the airplane structurally intact. And then as it filled with water, it would have slowly sank and then spiraled down to all the way down to the seafloor. So the first step is to confirm it. Then we kind of curate, figure out what the site looks like, how it's sitting in the mud and the sand. And then the next step would be, if it's possible, to raise it to the surface and then restore it. And that process could take, it could take 5 to 10 years. It's not something that's going to happen tomorrow.
I think it'd be a good idea. What if they rent that company that just sent the one down to the Titanic? Ocean Gate? I don't think this is nearly as deep, but still it would probably be an issue. Some asshole in Kansas stole the Jackie Robinson statue. Cut it off at the feet and was like, people are like, what the hell just happened? Who stole the Jackie Robinson statue? Some racist bastard, probably a former Zaniac, stole the Jackie Robinson statue, and then they found it destroyed. My God, this is fucking ridiculous. Look they left the shoes there right on home plate. Some asshole showed up there, hacksawed the legs off, put the statue over his shoulder. It's got to be a dude. Was taken last week, Thursday morning, after somebody cut it off at the ankles and hauled it off in a truck. No arrests have been made at this time, but officials are calling on anyone with information to come forward. A fundraiser has been set up for the replacement, with more than $11,000 raised and an end goal of $100,000. Yeah, if that's the case, then you got to have them like giving the finger. The Jackie Robinson statue will be doing the double middle finger, saying, fuck you, I'm still here. And you know it was some white asshole, some racist son of a bitch who did that. My God, come on. The fire department received a call that somebody had actually took what was left of the statue after they cut it off at the ankles and I guess lit it on fire somehow. Once the flames were extinguished, they discovered pieces of bronze in the rubble, which turned out to be from the statue. God damn, who's the racist son of a bitch that would do that? Awful. Kanye West snatches TMZ photographer's phone over question about Bianca. That's the wife, I guess. Okay. Look at this guy. He's dressed head to toe in black. And apparently TMZ person, whatever, wasn't too happy with them as they're walking down the street. One of the photographers asked him about Bianca Sensori, which ended with a confiscation and a lecture. Our camera person was one of several people trailing Kanye Monday as he made his way.
If Bianca has her free will, some people are saying you're controlling.
She's TMZ. She's TMZ.
Why do you feel like it's okay? I'm a human being. All of this TMZ, this 30 miles on, y'all set select.
Okay, he's got the mask over his head.
All this bullshit.
Okay, so she's makes no money. She's just supposed to ask questions. That's her job. And he grabs the phone.
She's TMZ. She's TMZ.
Why do you feel like it's okay? I'm a human being. All of this TMZ, this 30 miles on, y'all set select. All this bullshit. I don't give a fuck what y'all got to do. What y'all gonna do? What y'all got to say? Don't come at me with that shit. Ask me that. You think you can walk up on me like that? Would you think that you a white woman, you can walk up on me like that? And ask me some dumb ass shit like that? Ask me you're my wife, talking about this shit got free will? Are you crazy? You ain't saying this is America.
I am fascinated by him.
You got free will or you work for the devil? You got free will, you work for TMZ company. I'm a legend. You understand that? I'm here to support Charlie Wilson. You come
He says I'm a legend.
and ask me some dumbass shit about my wife. That's my wife. You understand? You wasn't asking shit when I couldn't see my kids. When I couldn't, do you have questions?
She, lady's just like, I just want my phone.
Do you have questions when I wasn't able to see my kids? And that I only get visitation and don't have rights to where they go
I
to.
like how he's accosting her about filming him, and everybody here is filming him. We've got multiple angles of people shooting video of him.
School? You got questions for that or you part of the system? You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? What do you hear? What do you hear about that? Is that your job to go up to every celebrity, ask them some dumbass shit about their wife?
What do you want to take you inside? Okay, let's go in.
No, tell me. Was it wrong for you to ask me about my wife some dumbass disrespectful shit like that? Was that wrong or right?
I'm sorry, Kanye. I just need my phone.
No, answer the question. I'm supposed to answer your questions? Answer my question. I got your phone now.
I would say, all right, yeah, well, if you answer mine, I'll answer yours. We can trade off.
They gonna arrest me for taking your phone? Arrest me for taking your phone then?
I don't.
You answer the question. You asked me, did my wife have free will? Was that a dumbass, disrespectful question to come ask a grown-ass superhero? Answer the question. What's
He's a grown-ass superhero.
your name? What is your first and last name and address, miss?
What are we doing?
I just need my phone.
Where is your phone?
No, she came to me and said, does your wife have free will to
Okay, now there's the cop here.
speak? She worked for TMZ. They
How
be
do you
running
know each
on-
other?
Yeah, how do you know me, miss?
I'm
I don't know you. What is her name? What is this lady's name?
just a reporter.
No, you're not just a reporter. What's your first and last name? Melanie what? What's your address? What you make a year? I'll pay you double what they paying you.
Woo! Woo!
Now you smiling.
Woo!
Get her contact.
Yes, I will. I will. I will. Good shit, Melanie.
Thank you.
Ugh.
Thank you, Kanye.
This is awful. What a horrible, horrible interaction. Oh my God. Whew. What a fucking weirdo. God damn, is that rough? Chris goes, taser, taser, taser. Tyler writes, uh-oh, somebody stopped taking their meds again. Patrick says he's mentally ill. His brain is not functioning properly. And that's true. You know, I honestly have a little bit of difficulty saying he's an asshole. I think he's ill. This is a very, very ill person. I don't know if he can help that. Tyler says, why is he the way that he is? I think that's it. I think that guy's just fucked up. My God. Hang on a second. All right. So earlier on the show, or on the free podcast, I talked to you about how there was an incident in from northern Michigan where the old lady, the 79-year-old woman, was sexting the child. Somehow she reached out to a child and wanted to have sex with them. And, you know, I kind of like laid the lumber on people in northern Michigan that, you know, a good percentage of those people, like 98 or 99% of people involved that live up there, are absolutely insane. The same community, Kalkaska, Michigan, is where something also crazy has taken place. Some dude was got the cops called on him for a domestic. And they're like, okay, time to calm down. Let's get it together. Everything's going to be okay. He's 35-year-old dude. State troopers were called to the home on Saturday after a report of a domestic assault. As the cops are getting there, the guy takes off. But he was then seen on a nearby property's trail camera. See, everybody there has trail cameras. That's like the way they communicate, is through trail cameras. The property owner that saw the guy on the trail cam said, hey, this fucking crackhead is on my property. The property owner asked another neighbor to check the security of his trailer because he does not live nearby. According to the state police, that neighbor drove to the trailer and that guy was there. And the guy was in the other dude's trailer. He's not supposed to be in there. He comes out and fires a gun into the fucking air. The neighbor goes, all right, I'm out of here. Then he calls the conservation officer. Now, I've talked before that these guys are not to be fucked with. Typically, a conservation officer would just storm and just shoot everything in sight. Doesn't matter if the bad guy's using a child as a shield, that child's going to die. Okay? DNR, unbelievable authority. DNR guy shows up along with a deputy from the Kalkaska County Sheriff, which a deputy in Kalkaska County is probably the dimmest of the dim. These are those local, yokel, hillbilly cops that are incredibly stupid, that they don't want you as a deputy unless if you've quit school at like 6th grade. That's like a prerequisite to be a Kalkaska County Sheriff's Department deputy. Dumb as shit. As the conservation officer, who was no doubt bloodthirsty, and the deputy pursued the guy, they heard gunfire. The Hilljack is shooting at them. A Michigan State Police K-9 team showed up, better cops, and took over. They start tracking the guy. They figure out that the guy wandered up to a tree stand. Now, these aren't the smartest people in the world that live up there. The fact that he's going to go do Custer's Last Stand in the tree stand, I mean, where the fuck are you going to go at this point? So he climbs a tree stand, and he's waiting for the cops. And he sees them showing up and starts to open fire from a sniper's position. So the cops unloaded all their weaponry and shot it into the tree stand. They then deployed a drone. And they put the drone up to the tree stand, and, you know, there's a camera, and there's the cop looking at the fucking thing, 300 yards away. And on his phone or whatever the device is that he's controlling it with, he sees the guy is fucking shot to shit and dead as fuck. Inside the tree stand, loaded weaponry, and the body of the suspect, all in a day's work for the locals in Kalkaska County. That is remarkable. Holy shit. Can you believe it? 2 stories today out of the same part of fucking shit kicker, Michigan. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right, we covered Kanye. We covered the stolen Jackie Robinson statue. We covered Amelia Earhart. We covered the NFK. We covered Hilljack in Kalkaska County. What am I missing? I don't know if I'm missing anything. Chris says the guy treed himself. So far, this is all normal in Kalkaska. My God. All right. What was I going to get to? I thought I had a surprise bit of information. Oh, I'm working on a trivia game for a live show trivia game. I'm just throwing a feeler out there now. If we do pull it off, it would be $15 a head, or I think, like, depending on the size of the team, you can buy a table. With your $15, you get drink tickets, like a couple of drink tickets, and food. And there's a cash prize if you win the trivia challenge. I would host it. I give out the trivia question. Your team fills out the answer. Pencil and paper. No devices allowed. If you're caught cheating, you're out. It's fairly basic. I read the trivia question. As a group, you figure out your answer. Hopefully no one speaks too loud and they hear what you're coming up with. You write your answer down. You've got 10 answers. All right, that's the end of round 1. Bring up your score sheets. Bring up your score sheets. I have the tabulators tabulate the scores. You all go get round number 2 of drinks. After the first round, I reveal the standings. All right, Team A is in the lead. Team B is right behind. Team C still within shouting distance. All the rest of you suck. Okay, round 2 begins now. And then we do this for 90 minutes. Wash, rinse, repeat. We get down to the finals. We declare a winner. Everybody has a good time. It'll be on a Thursday night. You go home. Now, it isn't set in stone yet because the person who wants to do this with me, I do not trust them to get this all done. But if we do get it done, I want you to save the date for Thursday, February 29. That's right. There's a leap year. There's an extra day in February this year. So add that to your calendar. Tentatively, the Eric Zane Show Podcast Trivia Challenge, episode number 1. It would be at, I even know where it would be at, the American Legion Fonger Post in, I guess that's Grand Rapids, or what's that town called? Walker on 28th. The Fonger Post, American Legion. Patrick says it sounds like fun, but I can't make it. It's because he's in South Carolina. Chris says that's like regular team trivia at the bar. Exactly correct. This is no different than that. It's just me talking to you and making fun of answers. Chris says that is his post. Are you a veteran? Wait a minute. Are you like that local scientist? Or are you just a member? That's cool. I'm glad that I don't know you're a veteran. All right. So I want you to save the date. I give it about a 30% chance that it's going to happen on that date. For some reason, I don't think it's going to work. But keep it in mind. If it works, that'll be awesome. If not, we'll kick that can down the road. But I'm working with someone who wants to make it happen, but I don't know. That's going to do it for me, folks. I will talk to you down the road. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.